For some story time? I'm going to tell a story about a period of a time about 22 years ago.
Wow.
On this day, so it's like an anniversary of a time that was much different than this. Yeah? Mom's eating a banana. You alright? You got it? Go ahead, eat it. Woo. I'll make it smaller. I'll break it in half. How's that?
That's good.
Is that better?
Yeah.
I'll make it round, and then I'll make it, there. Is that better? There we go.
That's good.
I just signed up for Spotify on my iPad.
Spotify.
I used to have it, but I don't like paying for that stuff. I don't like paying for music because of radio. It's kind of silly. Anyway, it wants you to ask like what your 3 bands are for your music preference. And I just have to laugh at the stuff that they give me, and I'm like, nah, let me go to the search bar.
Search bar.
Yeah. So I put in Crash Test Dummies, Concrete Blonde, and Sam Cooke. That's who I'm listening to now. I loved Sam Cooke when I was a little girl, young girl. Music was always my escape because I could go into my imagination with music. It was like a portal for me. And home life wasn't fun, exactly. We didn't have a lot. Sometimes I'd turn on the light switch, which was a pull string from a light bulb from the roof, and I'd stand there and I'd freaking try and see how many cockroaches I killed with the fly swatter to see how fast I boom, 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 boom. That was my entertainment.
Is that your
Yeah. Life isn't as fun as they say it is, but we try to make it look good, don't we? So the story I want to talk about today is about the 10th of June 2002, and that was my first sobriety date. Like, I would have been 24 years sober today. I'm not. I'm like 5 or 6 or something like that. I don't keep track anymore. I just live every day in a way that keeps me from living how I used to live. Because I used to be just basically a waste of space, and that's not what life God intended. Good orderly direction is how I look at God. So, some years ago, it was actually started when I got to Offutt Air Force Base. I got there July. What does the little poster say? They give you these little trinkets and shit when you're a good little soldier. And I was one of the goodest. So I was there from 24 July 01 to 1 November 06. And you see, that's the Doomsday plane.
Doomsday?
I've been on the Doomsday plane. They have these big old power supplies that they plug into.
Wow.
And you have to go down and make sure that it's operational, and you have to take a buddy, and the buddy has to hold a cane in case because the electricity is so potent, it arcs sometimes, and your buddy has to be able to knock you off with the wooden cane so you aren't dead or melt or something like that. So I was in Omaha. And I didn't have a lot of freedom growing up. So when I got here, and then I got to basic, and then they start giving you liberties. And as I got to Offutt, I started getting liberties to my life that I never had.
Wow.
Ever. And I was 25, and I was hanging out with a bunch of 18, 19-year-old kids and stuff like that. And it's more like college than it is defenders of the Constitution, quite frankly. We're gonna be real about shit. I mean, everybody knows that Bush guy did 9/11. Like, I'm sorry for my service airmen, because I was on the inside, and I understand that Washington D.C. and Hollywood, they're the same contrived reality. It's both starts out with a group of people sitting around a table deciding how shit's gonna go, and they got the big budgets, and they don't care about you. They just got their own agendas and the budgets. So when I started gaining these liberties, and getting some money in my pocket, I started drinking more. I started going back to my old ways, because I always just stopped stuff long enough to get out of trouble, do what I needed to do, get my life on course, and then I'd go back to my old ways and then knock myself all over hither dither and make me yawn. And so I started drinking, and I was in an age shop. I worked in age, like everybody looked out for each other kind of thing, and I still got a DUI on base. So there's no record of it on my public record. It doesn't exist. And if you get one off base, and if the base don't find out about it, you might not get that Article 15 or kicked out. My first supervisor did that. I was taking him to meetings for a year. I was serious about it, and then he just, as soon as his year was up, he said, "Thanks for playing." I'm back to regular scheduled program. I think he went to South Korea after that, and then ended up in back Montana, where he was from, and then there's a girl on the back of his motorcycle, and he was gonna get pulled over, and he didn't want to get in trouble again. So it was cold months, slick roads. He tried to outrun the cops, wrecked, killed the girl on the back of a bike, just like my sister died. I just made that connection. But my sister didn't. My sister died on the back of a motorcycle. She didn't die outrunning the cops. She was trying to pick up keys. Anyway, I digress. So I got a DUI on base. They sent me to it.Artists, which is Alcohol Drug Awareness Treatment and Prevention. It's like outpatient. And we would go meet at places like at Offutt in one of the old buildings where they modified the building. No, it was building D, not the gym. It was building D, where they have the wooden bricks, anyway. I don't want to get into history of military. So, but they had a bowling alley in there. So people could just get off work and go drink and bowl. And it's so weird. Like, if somebody wanted something, some kind of a way on base, they just made it happen. Like, what if everybody could create like that, They had places where people could go and, change the oil in their car, swap out the engine, and have every tool you could possibly... It was like a library for auto maintenance. Like, why can't every town have that? Like, why is it just the people that... are killing things? It's not fair. Anyway, so I got a DUI. They sent me through it.Artists. I wasn't supposed to drink, evidently, for the 6 weeks, because they said we recommend you don't drink, and I just took it as a recommendation. Okay, well, I'm not going to take that recommendation. Thanks. I was just the awkward airman. Really. I was late on my first day. And I still ended up winning squadron wide awards. From the group, my group was maintenance. There's 1,800 of us.
Wow.
Anyway. So, because my boots were the shiniest, and I was the shiniest little airman, and I turned myself around, I stopped doing the things that I did. And then I went to recovery for 4 years, found out they were all a bunch of fucking fakes. I'm autistic. I can't tell if I can't, sometimes I really can't tell. Sometimes when people don't have a soul, they're the greatest character actors on the whole planet. But they're really good at like acting like it. And then but I'm pattern recognition. I'm all about pattern recognition. So they can only live in soulless can only live in certain patterns. And when I drink, I become soulless, understand, because I remove the oxygen from my blood, which animates us, is our breath and our electricity. You know, it's a congruence, because cooperation is nature's way, and your heart beats with electricity, and that helps you to breathe. And then your brain moves your body without you even realizing that you're telling your brain to move your body. I learned a lot about the brain from when Mom got her head smashed by a dude and in her head in the car door of a 64 Chevy Biscayne. I should look up the weight. How much? Let me ask this guy here. Let's see. Let's see if they can find, if they're real smart. How much does a driver's side door weigh on a 1964 Chevy Biscayne? Shuffling the deck. Shuffling the deck. It could mean anything. It could mean anything. It could mean anything. It could be 50 pounds. It could be 75 pounds. It could be 125 pounds. It could be 120 pounds. It could be 90 pounds. It's like that cat in the box. It don't exist until it's seen. Like Subway Surfers, the game, the background, it don't exist until homie runs up on the scene. There is no big old, the necessity for a desire to fix the whole earth and the entirety is freaking nonsense. You just need to fix yourself in your community. And your community. Be a good example. It's not hard. A 1964 Chevrolet Biscayne driver's door isn't one size fits all because Chevy built different bodies that year. That was the current market looks like. If you meant the whole door shell, the OBER B1791, the OEB 1794, which is my birth year mixed up incidentally. That's the part number. 51 pounds. And then they're giving me prices like I want to buy one. That's not what, see, they're going off the rails. You're being presumptuous again, Al. That's not what I'm looking for. Anyway, I'll go buy 51 pounds. So I have my little dumbbells. My dumbbells are 20 pounds apiece. These are my 20-pound dumbbells. These are 40 pounds. It is still 11 pounds shy of the force that was slammed on my little mom's skull by a man that she took care of and cared for. That's why I went into the military. And that's why I drank to take the edge off. Because Mom was at home. I started sending her money home real quick and stuff. She took care of herself for a real long time. Confounded. Long time she took care of herself. And then I started realizing that she can take care of herself now, but she can't. What I figured out is in 2007, I was sending her money home and stuff, and like she was always gone, and she was always walking to the store, and her car broke down, and I knew how far it was, and I walked all the years with her to the store, but I wasn't there to help to carry the load. Usually I was there to help, but I wasn't there. And so, but after a dude does that, she still has like this like little, like it looks like the part of an egg. It's a fleshy part, and I'm reminded of her head injury, every time I cut her hair, whenever we wash her hair, like, I don't want to hurt, like, I don't want to, you know, like, I don't want to hurt her at all because she's been so hurt in her life. And so, that's why I work so hard to keep it comfortable for her. And my brother held the expectation that she was supposed to go to work, she was supposed to get a job, because he's a part of the program. You're supposed to get that retirement. If you don't have that retirement, how are you supposed to take care of yourself when in your, you know, and it's just like, but every day, what Mom taught me is if you help take care of people around you that legitimately don't got nobody, because that number is growing exponentially every single day. It's getting bigger and bigger. But I got ideas on how to get people, give people things to do, and they'll find use and purpose in their life. They have nothing to do. The deck is stacked. People are bored. I drank for years because I was bored out of my freaking mind. I had nothing to do. And once I became a stay-at-home daughter, and we became our housing insecure is what they call it. We became housing is like, we haven't had stable housing in a long time. Like 7 years. Like, we've been without utilities, and I mean, like, I'm a veteran. I serve this country, and nobody fucking cares. Like, fuck you, you know? I'm gonna just sit over here on my ass on fucking and wave this flag and watch these fireworks and pretend like I give a shit about veterans, but you're in my face. I don't give a fuck about you. No. So, we moved around so much that I think it's silly when people stake claim to a place. Like, they have pride in a town. Like, when you're old and in an old folks town, is that town gonna wipe your ass? No, it's stupid. It's appeal to emotion is what it is. So, the 10th of June is also incidentally the day that AA started 91 years ago in history. A couple guys sitting at the bar just saying, "Don't do it. I won't do it if you won't do it. Okay, let's go do something else instead." I like concepts of it. I like meeting and talking about ideas, but they just throw themselves little parties all the time. That's all AA conferences all the time. That's all they are. It's just, I've spoken at freaking lots of them. I have my talk out there, you know, recorded by, you know, it's anonymous, but this company with people in the organization record it and sell it for profit. It never made sense in my brain. Never. But that's what Freemasons do. They tell you not to do stuff because it's just not fair while they're doing it themselves. It's a stacked deck. It's a stacked deck. Planet Earth is a stacked deck. And if you don't got the right blood, you are the people farm. See, I got the good blood. That's the part that is so funny to me. I think they look at it like this. When I just signed up for Spotify, every time you sign up for anything on planet Earth, there's like, they don't even really ask you your name anymore, because you can just sign up with a Google account, right? And just use your Google name account like I did. And then the first question it usually asks you is your date of birth. And every time I'm putting my date of birth in, I feel like I'm unlocking a combination on an old combination lock in a junior high. And then I'm telling Spotify all that I am. I was looking up, sometimes I'll do that. I'll wake up and I'll wonder about things, and I'll be like, I wonder what the algorithm thinks. Let's take a peek. And so today, because there's all this God, we're in Gemini season, right? Aren't we? I don't know. I keep track of Vedic sometimes, so I keep track of too many things, and Mom is my priority. So, bloop. I forgot what I was gonna say. Ooh, I like this song. Oh, I can't play it. I gotta change it on here. So, your date of birth, because that tells you all you need to know about like, I mean, I learned so much about people from their date of birth.
Oh.
Okay, let's see. If you mean the whole, okay, so that's not the conversation. So this morning, because we're in Gemini season and there's just always activation. I'm always activated. That's why I have to do things to keep myself busy, is because I'm always activated by something, stimulated by something, because I'm an Aries. That's what we do. And we learn by doing. So I like to go around people that whenever I want to learn how to do something, I was always taught to go be with the people that do the things that you want to do. And do the work. And learn all the mistakes and all the tricks and all this stuff too. I just like to learn. And then my Scorpio moon, deep private, all or nothing feelings. I am a delete master of the universe. Because people have cut me out my whole life. I've never been invited into anybody's world. So it is nothing to me to be like, okay, it was nice to be in your orbit. Thank you. Be well. Bye.
Nice.
You know, we just kind of float in and out of people's lives, you know. I try to stay in people's gravity, but they don't want me, so I go. They say they do, but they act like they don't, and I go by actions and not words. Yeah. It says the major aspects that run your chart. The Mars conjunction Saturn conjunct South Node in Gemini, 12th by your own house system. Mars at 23 degrees and Saturn at 29 degrees are only 6 degrees apart, both glued to the South Node at 22 degrees. That's not just discipline meets drive, it's karmic habit of doing mental work in private, editing yourself, carrying responsibility for what you know. The 29 degree Saturn is the aeronetic degree, the final exam point, and I fucking hate tests. And I've been tested my whole life. That's why I'm very, very careful about the person that I am in public worlds. And yet, like, I still look for videos of me. Like, where are people recording me? How come they're not putting me on the internet? Because I'm not acting out like a dummy like that. Doesn't mean I won't, because I have. Just because they haven't seen it. I grew up where cameras were hidden. I got cameras on my glasses. I'm all about... I like to... I see, because who I act like right here is who I act like out there, right? I see people on the internet. I'm like, dude, if you were... I say you would not be acting like that, like at the, you know, in different places. Like, people, they just wouldn't. It would be different. So, Mars trine Uranus, Saturn trine Uranus. So Mars, Gemini trines Uranus, Libra, Saturn does too. This is your saving grace. Sudden insight, technology, astrology, groups that get your wired brain. Uranus in Libra gives you a breathtaking breakthroughs through the other people once you let them. What does it say? Uranus gives Libra... Wait, Libra gives you breakthroughs through other people. Which I do! I was just listening to the Leo Cub this morning. The ego in me is like, I see it, and I'm just like, dude, you waste of resources. Anyway. And he also, like, this video that I listened to, he was talking at a conference... Come, everybody gather around, listen to what I have to say. Pay tickets. Come hear me now. Anyway, the caption said, Navy veteran. And I've been listening to the kid for years. Kid drives me crazy. He's still, for like every 2 hours of like, whatever, I can get about 17, 20 minutes of stuff that I find valuable. But I have to listen to a lot of stuff that I don't care about in order to do that. And so I explained to this channel that he is not, in fact, not a veteran. He is not a veteran. because he, in his cognitive state, made the decision to get himself kicked out because he could foresee what was coming. See, I foresaw what was coming and still honored my commitment. And if he was in, he would have far more intel on what's happening now than smoking some weed and getting kicked out. And then having his breakdown or whatever and going into the hospital and getting leveled out with medication and all that. And that's just not a route I was ever afforded to take, confounded. I never got to just take paid vacations and holidays because I always had mom to look out for. But maybe he'll figure that out now he's a dad. I don't know. I had a deadbeat dad. And he even referred to himself as dear old dad. And he's still a freaking narcissistic piece of trash Freemason. And you know what else? I started following this lady on TikTok recently. Am I upset, Luna? Let me turn on this cooler. Ugh. My banana pants. Because I'm slicky. That's for Mr. Feldman. I forgot what I was saying. I started thinking about Mr. Feldman. Dang it, I was about to go off on a tangent. And evidently Gemini is gossip. No wonder I have a channel. This is my gossip channel. It's not even gossip because gossip is making up stuff that makes people look bad. And I don't make up nothing. There is nothing that I make up. Everything. And there's times that I've found out things that I thought were true. And then I found out them to not be true. So I've come back and I've recanted lots of stuff I've said. Heck, I've been doing these talks 10 years.
Wow.
I was talking about how in 2019, how 2020 was supposed to be the year of clear vision, and that people were really supposed to see that America's full of shit, but they just went right in line and stood 6 feet apart and put on their mask and took all these freaking sick makers and stuff, and because that's what they did to me. So I got to work harder to be healthy because my body is always telling me that I'm dying pretty much. Like everything hurts, you know. And I don't take no pharmaceuticals. I don't do no vape pens. I don't smoke no tobacco. I did all these things. I don't do them no more. I don't drink no alcohol. I do make caramel. That's what I do. I make caramel and eat some gummies. That's how I navigate this insane world. And then Mom and I will go out for drives, and then we'll hand out water to people that are thirsty. And they are so grateful. Because there's been so many times that we've been without and we were in need, and there was nobody to help. And then Mom would pray, and then somebody would come from nowhere, and the help would be there, and it's always so divine. I was talking about my dad, the Freemason. Oh yeah, I started following this lady on TikTok, and she has this book, and she was reading this story about the Rainbow Girl ceremony at the Freemason Lodge, and she had a diagram, and like it had a nomenclature of what every position. I think I saved it. I might have saved it. Because I was in one of those in Reading one time, in the Freemason Lodge in Reading, because of Joycey Ide. Let's see. The rainbow. Okay, I'm going to TikTok. That's what I'm like, what am I doing? I need to focus pocus instead of hocus the pocus. You focus the pocus. I like words. Words are fun to me. Oh, wait. Turn that down. I don't want to get in no trouble. Profile. If I go to saved. Oh, no. Is it gone? How is that? Sometimes I save stuff and it's totally accidental. Yeah, I didn't mean to save none of this. Nope, not that either. I think it's gone. But a lady was, so I was the conscious observer. What if I looked it up? What's the diagram? Diagram for rainbow girl formation. I only did one because they put you in these big stupid hoop dresses and they were absurd and I would never wear them again. Like, I didn't wear the big bouffant. That's why I think they gave me that position, because I wasn't I wasn't for, I don't know. And then they had me go to like brownies. No, they had me bend over, look in a mirror, say weird words, and I said, I'm out. I'm not a pony. Why do people want to make people do pony show shit? That's all the military is. Come out here, stand in front of these planes with your and put your hands all in these funny little positions and hail allegiance to Moloch and Baal. It's retarded. Formation Freemasons. Freemasonry. They're not going to show it. Anyway, I think it got deleted. But I always wondered, like, because it was boring. I wasn't paying attention. I was 15 years old. I was swigging my feet, I had, like, my sneakers on with this hoop dress and this, I don't know, it was so silly. All that ritual and stuff is. And you don't want to hear a funny story? This is why it's so funny, is because half of me, I have the white blood. I think the whites are the fallen, the colonials, the takeovers. I think the pigment, like I can't get color even in the sun, all that, they're like derived from the falling angels, right? That doesn't mean they're all evil and wicked. People have free will to act however they want. I'm like a programmed military, like I'm made to be mad, Marge. And I'm just like, whatever. Whatever, man. So you don't have to act in accordance to your program. You can change your own program. I did it. I could, flip my script any second, any of us can, but I don't have any. I take care of Mom. I live from my heart. And when people live from their heart, you can't fake that. You can't pretend. You can't stand at a podium at Sedona, and go on tour buses around and look at the sights and be like, I care about the whole world. Your whole world is within your community. And if there's anybody that is homeless in that community, they're the ones that should be offered like what they want in life. And what do they need to get that? That's how we should raise the vibe of the planet, is by raising the people at the bottom. Giving people things to do so they don't do other things that are unuseful. Sitting around drinking all the time, playing videos, don't do nobody no good in your own community. So give people options. And in New Mexico, I'm excited to help people, give people options, because I have so many ideas. I just need to figure out how to get to the people that hold the purse strings, that really want to make change instead of talking about changing things. Like, money's pretend. Put all the numbers where your mouth is. Come on. We're so busy doing stuff for nothing, everybody else is doing nothing for something. That don't make no sense. So, I guess Mars is in Aries now. Fuck. See, it's funny. I like listening to people. Another dude drives me crazy. Like I could picture hanging out in Denny's with them, like across the table, and like listening to him and just being like, oh, let me out, I gotta go. Like there's people that I used to have coffee with at Denny's, and they'd come in and sit down. I would freaking just climb under the table and leave. I'm not even Irish, and I'm just bouncing. I'm out. Nope, don't like you. Don't want to be around you. They might want to, but this one don't. So y'all have a good time. Trade me. But Robert Phoenix, it's funny because he and I are so much alike, but he's also like my brother, which he's a Virgo, like Robert. They're both I have a sister who's a Virgo. And he has his bias against Aries because he was married to one. And I would never marry a Virgo. It'd be like me marrying my brother and sister. So that's weird. I wouldn't do that. I want to be friends with people like that. I find them attractive sometimes. But being involved with them, no, that makes me want to go bleh. So, but he and I are definitely in agreement with and about Cliff High. Cliff High gives me the creeps. And I was friends with Heidi for a minute. And Heidi was one of the pretty girls that I thought. I didn't want to. I was like I was friends with her, and if she ever had the idea that like I wanted to like, that wasn't ever the case. And I even reached out to her. The last time we communicated was when my sister Jessica died, because my sister's a Virgo. Homegirl's a Virgo. They're like a week apart. So, and she kind of reminds me of my little sister, you know, with the flashy and all the makeup and all the put it together. But behind closed doors, I know it's a little bit more like the real estate agent with American Beauty, but I don't care either way, you know. I got to send her presents before and stuff, you know, like it wasn't like she knows who I am. She's seen my Facebook page, you know, if she wanted to. And so, but I don't live in accordance between large age gap relationships. That's just me. That's me. For my own reasons. Because as a female, like as a woman, I'm 52. I would never date a woman that was in her 30. Or in her 20. I would not even, like, you're a little girl. You're a tiny little girl. Like, go grow up and then come back later when you're in your 30s and we can do grown-up things. Because right now, because I was your age. And I ran with all types of girls. The fast girls, the slow girls. You know, the guys that hung out with the slow girls and fast girls that pretended to be one kind of way, but then when they were around me, it was they talk how they were. And so I'd get both sides and be like, you're with the piece of shit. And then I would be odd man out, and then they'd end up crying because they were with the piece of shit. But I'm the asshole. So I don't hang out with people that do it. I don't hang out with people that do things that I wouldn't do. And I don't think that people would hang out with me unless they want. I don't know what people's motives are. Most people don't want to hang out with me. My channel I am the worst influencer on the planet. Because I invoke peace and everybody else is pushing hate right now. They are. Everybody's so mad. We go to wars because people are conflicted within themselves. And then if I was conflicted within myself, and then mom was conflicted within herself, and then we were just fighting all the time, that's just, and then like one of us goes out in the world and we're thinking about something that happened at home, and then they bring that energy out in the world, and everywhere you go, there's just conflict. Where's the peace? Where's the quiet? Where's the serenity? Hell, I live in Taos. There's supposed to be freaking, all these healing centers, but I've never seen so many sick people in such small proximity. Never in my whole life. There's a lot of sick people. All economic backgrounds. It don't matter the color of your skin. It don't matter your age. It doesn't matter. The only thing that pretty much should be, I mean, the way things are going, because people are so fearful, it's just going to make waves, ripples and waves. I'm glad I live in like 7,000 feet up away from all of it. Like, people have to travel, put effort into coming to where I am. It's so funny when I go to the grocery store and I think, I'm like, dude, I just had to drive up the road. Like, you had to take planes, trains, and automobiles to get here. And what are you going to do to make it better before you go? Nothing. You're just going to walk around the little town square, see some brown people, eat some freaking Indian tacos, you know, go pay an admission and watch how people live, like a people zoo. And that makes Taos a better place, huh? Tourism is silly to me. It's people zoo everywhere. But right now, I guess a lot of people are having a. I'm on a spending freeze, and Mom and I have it way better than other people. Mom and I have it so much better than other people that sometimes we'll go out and make it better for them, because we know what it's like to go without. You know, people need a break. And Flag Boy, that's what I'm going to call him, Flag Boy. Biff Flag Boy. Let's get that. Biff Flag Boy. He's like this independence, whatever party he's throwing this weekend for his butt buddies, fraternal order of butt stuff, his bro, his chums, his chodes. He's thrown himself like a multi-million-dollar birthday party, in this country sold out. Like, it makes me sick. Like, as somebody that supposedly went overseas to throw over governments that took away from its own people, to become a government that takes from its own people to throw over other governments, it's sickening. And karma's real, and it's coming back around. Sometimes I get claustrophobic. Like, I know I'm supposed to stay inside a lot and recharge and think and process and all this stuff. And at the same time, like, we have a lot of drive. And Mom's got a 5-planet stellium in Sagittarius, so she likes to go out. She gets antsy. She starts pacing. I say, okay, let's go out. She loves going out and seeing stuff. She's always been very social, very chatty, and she just enjoys it. And so I take her out and do what she enjoys doing. And so it gets to but I stay in, and this place is small, and there's no windows except for like over there in that other room through the kitchen. And sometimes I get kind of claustrophobic and stuff, and then I just imagine being in a spaceship. That spaceship of like that show, or like a boat, because it's kind of like being in the bow of a boat without rocking, but I have so much tinnitus that I rock kind of all the time anyway. So that stuff helps me get through, you know, and everything is doable at little increments at a time, right? So the 10th of June 2002, I'm talking about it. I know it's on my heart. I even got a where and when to try and find a meeting around where I'm at, but I don't know. There's so many. I don't know. This town's weird. But wherever I go, there I am. So whatever I get, there I got. I got my planets. I don't have hidden enemies. They're right in front of me. So I'm used to people hating me to my face. It's nothing new to me. My father hated me. Mom, Jerry, and Dad all at one point said to me, just because we're related doesn't mean I have to love you. I think it hurt the most when Mom said it. Mom was the last. Dad and my brother were pretty quick to say it when I was they both said it probably by the time I was 15. But Mom held off until I'd gone off to, I think, off it or something. She'd say things that were hurtful because she was hurting, but she wouldn't tell me the real. I don't even know if she could figure out the real reason why. I know that, like, she knew she was losing her memory, and I know that probably created a lot of fear within her. And then when she came out to live with me, I could really tell when she was starting to lose her memory. Because she was writing post-its and leaving notes everywhere to remind her to do things. And then what happens is their mind gets to a point where they forget, they'll write the post-it and then they'll forget to read the post-it. And then it ultimately evolves into just not even writing the post-it no more. And so like the brain, when there's damage to the brain, whether it's caused by a blow, a hit, or alcohol, or a lot of drugs, or just not learning, not using it, that it deteriorates, like cells die. That's why you get Alzheimer's, dementia, all that stuff. Your brain, it's not active. That's why I try to keep mom's brain active. We're constantly talking. She might not understand what I'm saying. Most people don't understand. I can go to the grocery store. I'll start talking IT stuff. I lose people. I talk mechanics stuff. I talk Air Force stuff. I lose people. I talk home health care stuff about taking care of mom. People that don't take care of other people, never have, I lose them. So it don't matter what the topic is. I'm pretty much the parents on peanuts, huh, Mom? Ain't that true?
Yes.
Yeah! Preach it, sister. All right. You gonna get going?